Outside like inside. Her swimsuit was cut away in a diamond pattern from just below her navel up to the point where a thin cloth string held it together between her breasts. She looked pretty warm herself. "It would be cooler," I said. "Our talk may take a while. I don't want you passing out on me." She put one foot on the treated cool deck. "I'll be just a minute. There's a bar in the den. Help yourself." There was a small bathhouse behind the pool, in back of the diving board. She slipped her feet into rubber sandals, went around to the bathhouse, and went inside. I watched her bare, rounded hips disappear, then headed for the house, slinging my coat over my shoulder. A drop of sweat plopped into my eye. I brushed it away. 3 little girls in sunsuits had appeared from the yard outside the pool and surrounded the maid's tray of drinks. One child was clearly in charge, doling out the goodies on the top red brick step. "Hey, she's got more natto," said a freckled redhead with a front tooth missing. A brunette who had her hair tied into doggy ears made a face and stuck out her tongue at the redhead. "Do not," the brunette said. "Jacqueline's been fair." The kiddie in charge was wearing a blue pair of shorts with a white bodice held up by shoulder straps. She took the glasses away from the brunette and the redhead and held them out to me. "They're even, aren't they, mister?" She had wide, laughing eyes that were a color somewhere between blue and gray. Her hair was thick and hung nearly to her waist. It was a shiny mahogany color. More heredity. I bent and made a show out of eyeballing first one glass, then the other. Each was about half full of red sparkling punch. "Right on the button," I said. "See there?" said Jacqueline Brendy. She handed the drinks to the other little girls, who held them side by side and checked up on me, then faced me again. "Aren't you a friend of Daddy's?" "An old friend. I haven't seen him in a while." "He's not home," she said. I wasn't quite sure how to handle that one. "Oh, well, I'm an old friend of your mother's, too." "My daddy's in jail," she said. The other little girls giggled. Jacqueline had used the same tone of voice she'd probably use in saying, "I'm 6 years old," which was about how old she was. She led the other girls, each one carrying a glass of punch in both hands, back through the wooden gate into the yard. A fancy swing set, complete with a tent-covered landing at the summit, was visible over the top of the gate. A jungle gym rose to one side of the swing set. I went into the house. The maid was dusting built-in hand-carved bookcases in the den. Most of the books in the stacks were classics: Melville, Twain, Dickens, along with a couple of modern works by Michener. Not to my taste, which probably meant that it took some breeding to appreciate them. The maid was a chubby Hispanic, a Mama Rosa type. She stopped what she was doing, gave me a disapproving nod, and left the room. I made the 50-foot journey from the back door to the bar. On the way, I sidestepped a long, low-slung couch and a WMR Canadian Company baby grand piano. The piano was polished, and its keys shone like flossed teeth. Jack's bar was the only thing in the room that I recognized. It was dark stained wood and sat on short legs that were carved into lion's paws. Jack and I had lugged the thing up from Mexico one spring, placed it in the apartment that we were sharing at the time, and had parties around it. It was one of those things left over from bachelorhood that wives would like to get rid of, but know better than to ask. The bar had stood up pretty well, considering some of the parties. I fixed W.L. Weller's over ice in a rock glass. On the wall behind the bar was an old cowboy team photo in a silver frame. A good-sized picture, probably 30 by 20. Jack was in the top row between a grinning Bob Lilly and a scowling Bob Hayes. I squinted and looked for myself in the picture.